Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I've got some of these kind of unique little old school shaped ratcheting bit drivers. Here's three of them. This is the Vessel TD76. This is the Klein 65200. This one I think is by far the best. Love this thing. And this one is the Engineer DR55 mini offset ratchet. This one's made in Japan. The Vessel here and the Klein are both made in Taiwan. And similar, I've got this Chapman Tool CM13 that's a socket driver. Works also as a bit driver if you've got a bit with a essentially with a little ball in it, otherwise these just fall right out. You need that kind of an adapter. But anyway, let's take a look at them. I think this is pretty much the Wild West when it comes to the features, the layout. They are both a real primitive tool, but they also they've evolved in all kinds of different directions, and none of them seem that great. The Klein's the closest, but I'll show you some things I like and I don't about each one. The Vessel here, first of all, it has bit storage, and most of them come with these tiny little low-profile bits, and that's because it's designed as a low-profile driver. But the bit storage, that's its plus. Second would be its color. There's got some orange on it. Otherwise, its tooth count, look, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 1/4. So basically it's like a 16 tooth. That is not much. Klein I think is 72, and it shows. So that's about it. This, what I not like, the lever here that switches direction is very easy to hit. And a lot of times you're choking up or getting right up near on the front of them, and because your hand is asymmetrical, this also, you tend to kick it in a particular direction or something as you move around. It's just too easy to flip back and forth. The Engineer, on the other hand, what do I like? Well, it's got this nice integrated spinning wheel here. It's a little spinner, but it is on this side, and I'll show you, same with the Klein. It's got a spinner, but look where it is. It's on the more useful side. But anyway, so it's a plus. It does come off. It's just plastic. They have moved the shift lever here for the direction down to this location. And when I look at that, I don't know how strong it is, although I have put these into some screws and really pushed hard on those screws. I haven't really run into any problem, but they did clear that up. No bit storage. Kind of an odd thing is, this is the bit set that comes with it, and there's a little nub on the end, and that's designed to push the bit out. Of course, you can use some other bits sometimes, but some you can't. Try to get that thing back in. You have to line it up just right. Not as easy, but if you take out something like this, it doesn't fit in there. So it's hard to see because they're all black. But basically this is too wide, so you need something sometimes to get the bit out, and that's what that's for. So a tool to release the bit, and then the way this fits, and the reason I figured out that this plastic thing comes off is because sometimes you go into it and it's not going in. You have to line it up, twist it, because this plastic piece puts on resistance that's round, so you can't. It goes in a ways and then stops, and then you have to twist it. The number of teeth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. Yeah, so this might be a 20 tooth, not a lot. The Chapman here, how many teeth here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe. That may be 24, something like that. It's a stainless steel design, again kind of primitive. These are still, this kind of ratcheting mechanism that's inside these things is still alive and well. Here's a Craftsman, USA made. Here's a Snap-on 1012, real handy here. Here's a Blue Point. The offset ones tend to have a shift lever mostly gets out of the way. Here's a neat little one. This is a Blue Point as well, but this guy is designed to work as a 1/4 and 5/16 inch driver. Keep this in my appliance kit. You can see that that just sits right in there. It doesn't have any retention really. However, it does have this conical shaped back which keeps the bolt locked in. But if you needed to go through, a pass through, you can, such as, got one here somewhere like this. This 5/16 could easily just drop right in, and then if I was holding that end, if I only had a screwdriver, right, I could work that thing out. But anyway, so it's a handy little one, kind of nice. This is the RBZ810, 1/4 and 5/16. Anyway, going back to the pile here, and then the Klein. Now the Klein, what I really like about it is when it has a bit in it, you can use this spinner on this side. This is a 5/16. Where's my other? This is a 5/16 nut driver here, and of course, because this is a quarter hex. If you got a 1/4 hex bolt, you've got a 1/4 hex nut driver as well. Also, this 5/16 has got a pass through, so I can literally, if I've got a long bolt with a nut on it or something, I can get down there and use it that way, as long as this is small enough. The Chapman, on the other hand, which is kind of neat, if you recall, I made a video where I was trying to figure out how to get a fast spinning back end on a ratchet driver, a little bit driver. They did it. It's right here. That's what it looks like. It's a little knurled end. Allows pretty quick spinning. If I pop this out, there's one there as well. So look at that. Not bad. I like it. But again, old school design and not very many teeth. This by far seems to be the best. Both sometimes you can operate it with this handle or clip it to something. Drop your finger in to keep the wrench. Sometimes these do slip out of your hand and kind of fly away, but or you barely have them because you're in a real low profile environment. This is kind of another version of it. This one holds the bit here. Oh, by the way, the Chapman, this is a pass-through for, I mean, it literally does not hold a bit because it's straight, so it goes right on through. You have to have these detents, and that also means you have to have the detent on this as well. So if you put a bit in it, it just falls right out. Kind of a letdown there. But anyway, this one, it's got 5/16 and 1/4 as well. So this was the one that I had before I got that Blue Point. This guy here is a K-Star, made in USA, old one. Now these things though, why don't we just use these instead? Well, the low profile, that's kind of handy, but it's not that much lower, and these give us a lot more options, and in some cases they're less expensive. So why would you want to go down the road and spend 10, 15 bucks for something like this? A couple things. One, it's a super simple design, easy to clean, in case it's really a filthy environment or something. I would tend to think about these the same way I think about these larger wrenches, and that is that you use these for specific jobs and they stay with the job. Like I've got one of these that lives with a trailer hitch that I've got, simply because I'm always tightening these 3/4 inch bolts that are on it, so it just stays with it. It doesn't come back to the shop or go back in a toolbox or anything. And that's sometimes where these are good. If you've got a particular machine that requires an adjustment, why not have the specific wrench right there? And it's like kind of like your grandfather used to have a piece of baling twine, with the wrench tied to whatever it was, wherever it was needed on that plow or some shop tool. Same thing here. That's where I could see these things maybe having some degree of success. Otherwise, it's like a primitive design that it's not dialed in. There is so much evolution that could still take place with these. You're trying to get a low profile, inexpensive tool, you know, to hold a bit, but we've got all kinds of them that do all sorts of other things, like these saber cuts, you know, and what's the benefit? Why not use something that's a lot better? I think a lot better. That's the question of the day. I don't know. But if you don't have one of these, this is what I definitely recommend getting. It's so nice. Little flip lever for directionality right there. Occasionally I do hit that, but not near as bad as some of these others. And that comes with this bit set, which includes a little socket, quarter-inch socket socket driver. This thing, they're all stubbies to try to maintain that low profile, but you can certainly use longer bits in it. No problem whatsoever. But anyway, there they are, these little short guys. Kind of cute. Not sure, you know, what the real benefit is today. I could see it in the old days, you know, where there wasn't a lot of choice, but we've sure micro-sized our ratchets, and maybe it's time for these to just go back into obscurity. And with that, Doc out.